On the plane, a woman is seen simultaneously controlling two computers, her incredible speed leaving a man looking utterly baffled. A flight attendant reminds the woman to turn off her computers. Unexpectedly, the woman responds with a sentence.
You should wipe your nose.
Excuse me?
However, in the next moment, the flight attendant suddenly starts bleeding from the nose. The woman, without lifting her head, continues to furiously type on the keyboard. As she slowly closes her computers, all the knowledge in the world gets uploaded into her brain. It's important to note that Einstein, with an IQ of 160, only utilized about 13% of his brain. Whereas at this moment, the woman's brain has already been developed to 40%. She takes a sip of champagne, but unexpectedly a tooth falls out. The woman is choked and suddenly spits out several molars. Her hand begins to disintegrate, turning into powder at an alarming rate, leaving the man utterly astonished. Terrified, the woman rushes to the restroom. A male flight attendant attempts to check on her but is pushed away. In a panic, she locks the restroom door with her remaining 3 fingers. In front of the mirror, she finds her facial features severely distorted. She frantically stuffs blue pills from her bag into her mouth. Her eyes start to recover, but her body continues to disintegrate. In the next second, she turns into smoke and vanishes. Just a day earlier, Lucy was a carefree student who accidentally got involved in a gang deal. The gang forcibly placed a packet of a new drug in her abdomen, making Lucy and 3 others unwitting drug mules. Before boarding the plane, a gang member, attracted to Lucy's beauty, took her to a secret room. Lucy's fierce resistance angered him. He punched and kicked her in the wound. After the gang member is taken away, Lucy feels intense pain in her abdomen. The drug packet inside her bursts, releasing countless blue pills. The drugs rapidly invade her bloodstream, causing her eyes to mutate. As the drugs spread to her organs, Lucy's body uncontrollably convulses, defying Newton's laws by sticking to walls and ceilings. She floats in midair, pulling on chains, and eventually crashes into a wall. When she wakes up again, her eyes flash blue and she seems like a changed person. In the following hours, her actions will change the world. Another gang member enters. Unexpectedly, Lucy flirts with him. He approaches her lewdly, not knowing this will be his biggest regret. Lucy calmly grabs a gun and kills him, then boldly escapes the room. After precisely eliminating all the gang members, she voraciously eats to regain strength, downs a bottle of vodka, and fiercely removes a bullet from her shoulder without any expression. She grabs a weapon and leaves coolly, intending to get a cab to the hospital.
Hey, you speak English?
No. Ah, yes.
On her way, Lucy discovers she can clearly hear sounds from 100 meters away. When she arrives at the hospital, the Chinese characters on the screen instantly turn into familiar English for her. She barges into an operating room, glances at a brain CT scan on the wall, and turns around to shoot the patient being operated on. The nurses scream in terror.
You wouldn't have been able to save him anyway. Tumor already invaded the cortex on the right side of the spine. Somebody put a bag of drugs in me. I need you to remove it. Sleeping.
The doctor, trembling, suggests anesthesia. Lucy declines, asking for immediate action. When the doctor shakily removes the drug packet, he finds that half of it has already been absorbed by her. Normally, the human brain can only develop up to 10%, but this drug can push it to 100%. At this point, Lucy's brain has developed to 20%. As the drug continues to be absorbed, Lucy's brain keeps developing. She not only gains sensitive hearing but also enhanced vision, even seeing the vascular tissues inside plants. She realizes that if this continues, she won't survive much longer. She understands that finding the remaining drugs is the only way to control the reaction in her body. So she heads alone to the gang's hideout. Through the door, she shoots several gang members dead. She confronts the boss, who is oblivious to the nightmare unfolding, enjoying his music.
Learning's always a painful process.
The boss looks at his pierced palm, sweating profusely in pain. Lucy presses on his head, quickly reading his memories, and learns the locations of the other 3 drug shipments.
Berlin, Paris, Rome. Thank you for sharing.
She rushes to the airport, changing her hairstyle with just a thought. Her brain, now developed to 30%, can alter cellular structures at will. She calls the Paris police to report an international smuggling case. The chief initially thinks it's a prank, but is quickly proven wrong.
Listen up, Piero Del Rio. Get off your desk, sit in your chair, pick up the red pen to the left of you, and take down everything I say.
The chief, seeing a red pen, is startled and takes down the names Lucy provides. The computer displays photos of 3 men, and the chief quickly mobilizes his team for the arrests. Lucy, already on a plane and having accessed all human knowledge, has developed her brain to 40%. But suddenly, her body starts to disintegrate. Even after swallowing all the available drugs, she can't stop the devouring effect of the drug. When she wakes up, her brain is at 50%. Her eyes continuously change colors until she picks one that suits her. She walks out of the emergency room elegantly. The police, mistaking her for a terrorist, immediately surround her. But with a simple gesture, Lucy makes them collapse, leaving only the terrified chief standing. As Lucy approaches, the bullets in the chief's gun fall to the ground. She demands he takes her to get the rest of the drugs. Under her intimidating presence, the chief leads the way. To Lucy, all phone signals now appear as colorful rainbow lines. She finds one and inserts it into a radio, playing a conversation between the gang boss and his men. They are also on their way to claim the drugs. Alarmed, Lucy quickly moves the chief to the passenger seat and speeds off, with the chief mentally noting numerous traffic violations. They arrive at the location quickly, but the gang has already reached there first, leading to an inevitable fight.
Give me the case.
Lucy's brain, now at 60%, creates an air wall that instantly bounces back a man trying to escape with the drugs. He desperately tries to escape but can't. Lucy moves her thoughts and all the guns stick to the ceiling. The gang members are horrified. As Lucy advances, the men, like the guns, are drawn to the ceiling one by one. Lucy effortlessly takes the drug box from the man's hand. Despite his seething anger, he's unable to move an inch. Then, Lucy meets with the world's leading neuroscientist and a group of top scientists. Fearing her time is short, she rapidly shares her acquired knowledge, hoping they can carry it forward. The scientists, awestruck, listen as Lucy explains the truths of the universe while transforming her hand into various shapes. Lucy states that while everyone knows 1 + 1 = 2, this is actually incorrect, as numbers don't truly exist but are created by humans for convenience. Like a speeding car that eventually disappears from sight when accelerating infinitely, only time remains as proof of its existence. Time is the only true measure.
Without time, we don't exist.
Meanwhile, the gang boss and his men arrive, determined to reclaim the drugs. After a fierce battle, the police chief warns that they're about to break in. Lucy makes a bold decision to inject herself with all the drugs, aiming to develop her brain to 100% and leave a priceless scientific legacy for humanity. As the drug rapidly enters her bloodstream, her eyes turn blue. After the injection, Lucy emits a laser from her mouth, with her brain now at 70%. Lucy's arms harden, and her fingers turn into black tentacles that extend and cover all the electronic devices in the room, absorbing vast knowledge and energy. When her brain reaches 80%, she creates a white space beyond time and space, showing off the latest generation of computers with her thoughts. At 90%, she can freely traverse time and space. She teleports to the Eiffel Tower, a seaside cliff, and then Times Square in New York. With a wave of her hands, she stops time and with another gesture accelerates it 500,000 times. Human history unfolds like a documentary in her eyes. In seconds, Lucy travels from modern to early modern, then to ancient times, and finally to the prehistoric era. She witnesses extinct dinosaurs and the world's first hominid, their fingertip touch symbolizing the fusion of two civilizations. In the next moment, Lucy finds herself in outer space, witnessing the future destruction of Earth. Her brain is now at 99% development. In this final moment, the gang boss bursts in with a gun. Under the drug's effect, Lucy's cells are fusing at the speed of light. As the gang boss fires, Lucy's brain finally reaches 100%. She vanishes into thin air, leaving the boss in utter disbelief. He frantically questions the professor. The police chief, who has just eliminated the gangsters, arrives and shoots the gang boss. Suddenly, a USB stick extends from the computer Lucy left behind. It contains unprecedented advanced civilization knowledge she left for humanity. The police chief, stunned, asks the same question.
Where is she?
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.